Okay, the story is about dealing or sales or purchase, the entire market that's around cannabis, otherwise known as marijuana. And it's shifting from being an illegal, illicit market or so-called black market. It's emerging into the legal market because of new laws, legalization, in multiple states across America, starting with California historically, and of the last couple of years, Colorado and Washington State. Now it's legal to use marijuana in public in Washington, D.C., which is a District of Columbia, and Alaska and Oregon are also coming into this area of legality. And what's happening is that the dealers south of the border in Mexico are having to switch their tactics, and apparently what they're doing is going more into opium poppy growth and production. So opium poppy will produce not necessarily opium, the raw product, because nobody really uses opium. They want the concentrated, more artificial processed form, which is heroin. Consumption of heroin is said to be going up. Now, I don't know if there's FBI or Justice Department, whatever statistics is being put out there. I don't trust the accuracy, but there is a market for it, and it's not just the United States. They're going into Europe, and they're going into different areas. But the American heroin market is $27 billion in 2010. That's almost 5 years ago. I don't know why they don't have any more updated stats. But compared to that to 41 billion, which is substantially more, about 1/3 more in marijuana market sales. So, well, we do know America has a huge appetite for marijuana. We do know that. We do know that it is a culture. I don't necessarily partake of this culture and don't know too many people that are doing it because I believe it's overused, it's abused, and I believe that it's not so harmful, it's not so beneficial in the hands of users that are overly dependent or addicted. I think it's a very powerful substance, and it should be dealt with very carefully, very seriously. It has an effect which is just as powerful as alcohol. It is a totally different effect, of course. Don't argue with me on that one. It's a completely different kind of altered state. I don't want to say high because an alcohol is not considered a high. It's a completely different alteration of your mind, your mood, your experience. So we just have to consider the fact that there's going to be a lot of problems coming out of it, even though it's illegal, even though different people are able to make money on it now. The Mexicans, the so-called drug cartels, are just diversifying. Not only what this article has mentioned about heroin, it's also in methamphetamines. I happen to know that Mexican or Mexican-American joint ventures, pardon the pun, capitalistic ventures, which are international, market heroin, methamphetamines, crystal meth, I should say, crack, or whatever it might be. They diversify. So compared to that, I would totally promote marijuana, or mushrooms for that, point. Because they're organic, because they're natural, because they're not processed, because it's actually somewhat healthy for the earth. I just want to recommend moderation and to be doing it for sacred reasons. So that's my report. Thanks for listening, everybody.